is more complex. Like me, it is Egyptian American. Interspersed among the traditional, round-armed sofa, Queen Anne chairs, and side tables are mementos from my place of birth. Things you would find in an Egyptian home. Smack in the center of the living room in front of the hearth are two half-moon-shaped black silk screens with Arabic script that promises to protect our home from evil spirits. A service that Alexa and Google Home do not offer. A large decorative plate perched against the wall near the kitchen door reads, Khatwa Aziza, step in or welcome.
The American Egyptian Women of Influence podcast aims to be the American Egyptian culture podcast of choice. We believe that our knowledge and our participants' stories will greatly enhance understanding of both cultures. I'm Karen Leggett Aburaya. Rana El Kaliouby is the founder and CEO of Affectiva, bringing emotions into our digital experiences with emotionally intelligent technology. Rana grew up in Egypt and Kuwait, studied at Cambridge and MIT, and for a time was that rare Muslim scientist in hijab in America. She no longer wears the hijab, but she continues to win accolades for her work from Forbes and Fortune magazines, and she has just been named by Egyptian Streets as one of the top 15 inspiring Egyptians of the decade in business and entrepreneurship. Congratulations, Rana, on your many accomplishments and also your very compelling memoir that's being released in April 2020, GIRL Decoded.
Thank you for having me.
Rana, what are your current projects or challenges with Affectiva that excites you the most right now?
So at Affectiva, we are on this mission to humanize technology, and the way I like to think about it is we're trying to get computers to read human expressions and human emotions just the way humans do, and there's a lot of applications. We are primarily focused on industry to help our cars and our roads be safer, so it can detect if a driver is distracted or drowsy or tired, and then the car can intervene in all sorts of ways to help make our lives safer. So that's one exciting use case that we're very focused on.
So you're excited about the notion of a driverless car one day.
Eventually, yes. So we're also kind of reimagining what transportation looks like when we don't have drivers anymore, and how can the car understand your state and then personalize it and just really transform the transportation experience. Some of the other applications that are very close, near and dear to my heart are around mental health. So the very first application I explored was autism. So we built kind of a technology that helps autistic kids read and understand nonverbal communication. We continue to support that application through some of our partners. We also have partners that are looking into facial and vocal biomarkers of depression, Parkinson's, even suicidal intent. So there's a whole, slew of applications around mental health and bringing objective data to that.
How did you come to think about working with your devices and your technology with people on the autism spectrum?
Like many things in life, it was almost accidental. I was at Cambridge University, and I had just gotten there, and I was pitching my project to the other fellow computer scientists in the lab, and I kind of posed the problem, right? I said, I want to get computers to read facial expressions. It's a really tough problem. And someone in the audience said, my brother has autism. He really struggles with nonverbal communication. You should look into that. And as it turns out, Cambridge University houses one of the top research institutions for autism, the Autism Research Center. So I got in touch with the head of the center, Professor Simon Baron-Cohen, and we ended up collaborating very closely and partnering. And through my interactions with him and his team, I realized that we have a huge opportunity to apply the technology to autistic kids, and spent a number of years doing that.
Now, do you have that actually working now? Do you have kids on the autism spectrum who are actually using the devices and the technology?
Yes, we do. So one of our partnering companies is called Brain Power. They use our technology plus Google Glass to build these games, right, like these real-time games to encourage the kids to make face contact and eye contact and, elicit smiles and respond to smiles, and you get brownie points basically every time you do that. And we are already, through this company, they have deployed about 400 or so Google Glasses, mostly in the U.S., and they're already seeing a lot of progress. So the kids are doing a lot more face contact. The question is, does this generalize beyond, the device? But it's really impactful work, and I'm super proud that we are supportive of it.
Now, what do you bring to this company and to Affectiva's mission as an Egyptian and as a woman that is unique?
I would say because of my experience growing up, as an Egyptian and, of course, being a woman in technology, I have a very unique approach to leadership. So first and foremost, I really care about diversity and inclusion. I think it is paramount to our business. It will make us stronger. It will make the technology better and more accurate. And I'm adamant that our team is diverse, not just in terms of gender balance or ethnic balance, but experiences. So our team is super international and super diverse. We have people from Egypt, Iran, Canada, Thailand, China. It's just like, it's amazing. It's like the United Nations, right? And I take pride in that. I also, because of growing up in the Middle East and my journey coming to the United States, I just really value, I lead with empathy, and I'm a very compassionate leader, and I believe that that's a different form of leadership that we typically don't see a lot of, and I just, I'm vulnerable, and the team reciprocates that. So we value human connection. It's one of our core values as a company, and it's important for the technology we're building because it's all about human connection, but it's also the way we work with each other and with our partners.
Now, you're now living outside Boston with your children. Aside from your extended family, what do you miss most about Egypt, and what do you appreciate most about America? That's
a really cool question. I think the thing I miss most about Egypt is the warmth of people, and that's what people, like, we often, when we meet people here in the United States, they often say, oh my God, like, we get so intimate so quickly, right? And we just we're just very human. It's all about like being human, right? And so I miss that, and I think my kids miss that too. The thing I love the most about the United States, especially where we live, and we're so fortunate, is the appetite for innovation and risk-taking and, breaking the mold. Like, that's so celebrated here. I spent a number of years at MIT, and it's all about that. And of course, we're starting to see more of that in Egypt, but it's not part of the ethos. So that's what I love the most about this country, the U.S., and feel privileged to be here.
Now, even though it seems as if we've just begun our conversation, I'm going to ask to close with asking you to identify 3 words that you would use to describe or define yourself.
Empathy, grit, and connection.
Empathy, grit, and connection. And you are a scientist, an innovator, an entrepreneur, and so much more. And we thank you very much for being with us. Rana El Kaliouby.
Thank you.